Welcome back everybody to Let's Play Heavensward, up in the early morning light, of which I've literally been standing here about 20 real life minutes to wait for the sunrise in this game, because this zone is way too dark. Holy crap. We are finally have descended upon Zenith, and we're about to blow the Moogle's horn, and finally at last, hopefully, meet the Great Worm Hraesvelgr. And hopefully beseech him to tell Nidhogg to knock off this madness. And yeah, can you please leave those Gish Guardians alone? We kind of don't want our city burned to the ground. Okay, thanks. So yeah, Operation Absolute Absurdity is about to come to a head right here. And this place is absolutely massive. It's gorgeous, but oh my god, it is massive. Beg pardons as the sound of sirens outside has sparked my kitty into a rage of crumpling plastic bags across my floor while I'm trying to record over here. And one thing I haven't kept up with in the zone so far is the Aether Currents, of which there is one right here. Woohoo! Yeah, thanks Fire Truck, you got my cat all riled up. So before we click, no, I don't want to click on the destination. I want to talk to my friends. Okay, we had a nice touching moment by the campfire. Why does he oh my god, like every time he stands, he's got this like gangsta model pose about him. Yes it is. You guys, alright, seriously, we're about to meet one of the great worms, you know, like ancient absolute creatures, and no one is really going to express like, holy shit, we're really here, we're really going to do this. Nothing? Alright, fine. Now, is that the horn doing that, or is that us? Hi. I'm actually surprised that worked. I mean, not that I thought the Moogles were lying, but he came.
Hraesvelgr.
Yes, that's why we came, Alpha now. But you came.
By the 12. Mine ears hear the tongue of dragons, yet the meaning rings clear within my mind. How can that be?
Now, what's amusing here is he didn't think about this prior at all.
Hraesvelgr, do you not remember me? 'Twas I whom you found in Dravania. I who glimpsed the truth. The truth about your past. About Shiva.
Izel, this is kind of my thing. This was our plan from the start. You're kind of hijacking on it? Yeah, okay, now you pissed her off. Ugh. As my cat jumps on me.
But speak it I must. I have summoned Shiva's soul from the beyond and offered myself as her vessel. She has made her heart known to me. I have surrendered mine to her. Do you not see, my love? I am Shiva reborn.
Now, if you did Coil, you would know exactly what he is talking about here.
Then the spirit that answered me.
Be that as it may, Lord Hraesvelgr, Izel's desire to heal the rift between man and dragon is real, and it has borne us this far.
Yes, let's get into the meat and potatoes of what this meeting was actually supposed to be about in the first place. Okay?
We would spare both our kind and yours the ravages of this senseless war. Pray join your voice to ours in a call for peace and forgiveness.
Okay. Hraesvelgr, I know your guys are kind of functionally immortal and all, but...
Well.
Your tale bears scant resemblance to the one I was taught.
How convenient that it should absolve your kind of all responsibility. But tell me, dragon, why should I believe your version of events?
Ishgard's so-called heretics.
What do you mean so-called heretics? We have one sitting right beside us. Kind of their boss. Kind of a big deal. Maybe? Yeah?
Then the seed lies within us.
Ye gods, I have borne witness to such a transformation. Looked on as a heretic assumed the shape of a dragon. I imagined it some manner of Dravanian enchantment. But if any Ishgardian, regardless of allegiance, has such potential within them, 12 forgive us. To think of all the dragons we've slain.
We've known dragons weren't... Alright, hold the phone here. Hold the phone here. We've known dragons were intelligent this entire time. Okay, this is not a new revelation. But suddenly, and I hate this line, he spews out some crap about that implies that the life of the spoken races, you know, hero elves and all that crap, is more important and has higher value than the life of a dragon. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter if those dragons were formerly people or not. They were still sentient beings. God, Alpha, I want to punch you for this line. Who greenlit this? But anyway, continue.
Oft have I wondered why Nidhogg did not simply raze Ishgard to the ground. Now I have my answer. He has no intention of winning the Dragonsong War, for it is no war at all, but vengeance, an eternal requiem sung for his murdered sister.
I have not come this far only to admit defeat. We can still return the eye to Nidhogg and beg forgiveness for our ancestors' crimes. Mayhap our words will sway him.
Yeah, you called us out that, you know, talking this out was probably a stupid fucking idea, but you went along with it anyway, and now you want to tote this? I mean, credit where credit is due at this point. Well, I'm gonna spout the same thing. It's as good as idea as any. Yes, you got a point there, Hraesvelgar. We did not perpetuate the crime, yet we are the ones being punished. Just saying. Wow, that went well. Oh joy, where to begin with this? Where to begin? Alright, hold on. Let's let this scene play out before I really comment on what has been going on here. Yeah, this is pretty much the only explanation we get for why he can understand Hraesvelgar's words that are in, dragon speak. Because prior to now, dragons have only spoken to us in our tongue, which leaves us easier to understand. And funnily enough, nobody else comments on, like I said, the fact that none of us thought this through. Because we know the dragons are intelligent, and we know they have their own language. Justinian has actually told us what a couple of terms in, the dragon tongue actually mean. And this is something I think just in this Operation Absolute Absurdity, they didn't really think they'd get this far. I mean, it was worth a shot, but they didn't really think about this. And it's only him that experiences the holy shit, I can understand what he's saying. Now, two of us possess the echo, so obviously that kind of, hand waves that. And I'm gonna guess either because of just, his whole life about slaying dragons and the fact that he possesses Nidhogg's eye kind of grants him, like, a similar thing. But Alphinaud is like, holy fucking shit. And pretty much the answer is, their will is just so powerful that it transcends language barriers. Which I find kind of bullshit, but at the same time, being used by, the 7 kids in Midgardsormr here, I can understand that they probably are that powerful. If they're lesser kindred are just as powerful, that I cannot say, and I don't think that is ever mentioned in any supplementary material at all. But yeah, I find that kind of hilarious. That it's like, what the shit? Can you imagine how weird that is? Like, can you imagine him like writing a paper to the Charlian scholars about this? That yeah, I totally fucking understood what the hell a dragon just said, even though he spoke to me in an entirely different language. So yeah, in essence, we have wasted our time, but we have gained something more valuable. Information. Okay, you don't say anything else here. Alright. Yeah, come on. Play the damn scene I want here, so I can talk about this crap.
Well, what do you propose we do now? I, for one, am intent on continuing to the east.
What is there to be found in the east?
Nidhogg's lair, the Eyrie, is said to lie in that direction. And the eye tells me he is near.
Hold the phone for a second. Who said that? Remember? First people to be up here in 1,000 years? Has it seriously... I mean, it could be in the, whatever the hell the Ishgardian Bible is called. I mean, information could be in there for all we know. But I think I would have preferred that he just mentioned, because of this connection to the eye, that's where Nidhogg is. Like, that's all we really needed to know.
You cannot still mean to slay him.
You have any better ideas?
You cannot still mean to stop me. I have been true to my word and aided you in this fool's errand with Hraesvelgar. But your efforts at parley have come to naught, Lady Iceheart. I would see Ishgard saved, and for that, Nidhogg must die.
With the tale of our ancestors' vile betrayal yet ringing in your ears, you speak of continuing this war?
No, he wants to end it. Thus, why he wants to kill Nidhogg, and you're not listening, Azel.
Nay, lady. I would but pierce its vengeful heart. When Nidhogg dies, this war shall die with him.
A moment, Estinian. You yourself spoke of the Great Worm's strength, that you believed him powerful enough to raise your city to the ground. How then are we few to challenge him? Even behind the stout walls of Ishgard, with an army of knights manning the defenses, our victory would be hard won. Yet you propose to contend with the beast in his own lair.
In close combat, this will afford us an advantage. And if the tales are true, the Warrior of Light has bested many an invincible foe.
What do you mean if the tales are true? You were pretty much right down the street when we slayed Ravana, and furthermore, you were the one person who was like, yeah, this is really fucking dangerous. You might be walking into your death here. Do you really want to do this?
But such speculation is meaningless if we cannot even find the worm. Our first task must be to seek out Nidhogg's lair.
Yeah, it's in the east. We just discussed this.
The story of this nation grows bloodier by the moment. Must death always be answered with more of the same?
When words do not work anymore? Yes. Yes, that is the sad truth of life.
Such is the way of things, I fear. I shall consider it a miracle if mine armor is not stained crimson ere this conflict is ended.
I should be blinded by my own lies. Everything I believed, everything I thought I was, gone. All gone.
Leave her. Your words will not reach her now. And we have not the time to wait for her to gather up the pieces of her shattered faith.
Alright, so before we end this episode right here, let's kind of discuss what happened here for a moment. So, we have found information that neither Izel nor Estinian knew, and that, and you probably should have seen this coming if you know your Norse lore. There is a third dragon suddenly that has been coming to the Mist, that of Ratatoskr. Now, in Norse mythology, I'm kicking myself for saying that word, but it's just habit. I apologize for people who are in Norse religion. I actually know people who are. I mean, no offense. But Ratatoskr is actually a squirrel, and I don't think Ratatoskr's name is ever mentioned in any of the Norse lore. Please correct me if I'm wrong, people. It's the squirrel that travels up the world tree, up and down, spreading gossip, and most versions of the tale is a general nuisance, and pretty much is the one spouting insults back and forth between Hraesvelgar, or the Unnamed Eagle, depending on your version, at the top, and Nidhogg at the bottom. And while I don't think I've ever seen this explicitly mentioned or not, but half of me wonders if Ratatoskr was not the squirrel, that is, was not the one actually perpetuating the conflict between the two, and just being a general nuisance and riling up trouble, but that's neither here nor there. But she's ultimately, obviously, what splits the two brothers apart here. And, yeah, they're both equally pissed off that she's dead, and argumentatively, rightfully so. So, it wasn't just Nidhogg's eyes they went after, they only got his because he decided to go after Thornton and his coat in vengeance. So, yes. So while Izel was unaware of that this was a particular secret, she knew the Holy See was keeping something, and that's why, her efforts were to basically dismantle them. They were the real patsies in her plan, not, Ishgard as a whole. And, yeah, it's funny that finally you know, it's actually, you know, mentioned, hey, maybe we can give his eye back to him, and maybe that will make this all go away. And funny how she thought we were crazy for trying to talk it out, but now that her words have failed, she's like, yeah, maybe we should try to talk this out, huh? But I have to admit that as cruel as it is to say this, this is the point where I actually started to like her as a character, because as I said before, she's kind of regressed a little bit ever since our first re-encounter with her, and she's kind of here for her own reasons and for vindication for her own beliefs. And here is where it comes absolutely shattering down on her, that she is pretty much become and is the same as what she has been accusing us and thus everyone else of this entire time, and it completely breaks her. And again, as much as it sounds cruel to say this, I love it that, you know, she finally everything just hits her like a ton of brick, and she's like, oh shit, what the fuck have I done? And, you know, to find out, you know, her version of the events wasn't any more really true than what we are. You know, both sides actually kind of had a point here. And, yeah, it wasn't so simple as Nidhogg just wanting his eye back. Because remember when we first encountered her with Estinian in the party, you know, she's like, you believe he attacks the city for another reason. Well, he didn't quite understand that reason yet, but now we do. It is not because he wants to win the war. It is just straight up fucking genocide. Seriously. And I know she wants to kind of end this without further violence, especially, you know, even beforehand when she saw, you know, the kind of violence, you know, her hands have wrought, and she wants to avoid that going forward. So I mean, it is kind of unfair to me saying she regressed entirely, because she only regressed a little bit. But she needs to understand that, yeah, we don't have another choice here. We really don't. If we want to prevent further bloodshed, we have to stop the problem at its source, like it or not. I mean, what's our other choice here? Just sit here and do nothing and, you know, let this genocide continue for another 1,000 years or whatever? No, that's not going to happen. There's nothing that's going to stop him. And if we even talking to his brother and finding out the true story, and yeah, that he's no happier about this than we are, yeah, we really don't have another fucking choice over here. But one of my biggest disappointments here, and it's something of a disappointment I mentioned a few episodes back, is that when we're starting to walk off and Estinian's like, and we stop and Estinian's like, just leave her, it is us that stops. It is not how I wish it was in it being Alphino. Because Alphino, if you will remember, very recently recovered partially from, you know, a mental breakdown and an existential crisis for his involvement in certain events which we will not mention. And this would have been a perfect chance for, you know, the two of them to have, you know, sort of a bonding moment, whatever. And again, much to my kind of disappointment, they don't, I'm just trying to play with the camera here, they don't really characterize the relationship between the two, you know, from a narrative standpoint, and I really wish they did, because if it was one person who was gonna get through to her, even if he failed, it was going to be him. Instead, we just walk off. Like, we could still walk off, but have him stop and, you know, at least offer her some words of comfort, and you basically do what, you know, Arshafan and Tataru did for him. Remind him that despite all that happens, he is still alive, he's still breathing, he can still do some good, and he has friends to support him. That's what she kind of needs right now. Yeah, she kind of needs to be left alone to, you know, kind of put herself back together here, but for fuck's sake, can we give the girl a hug? You know, alright, where's my hug emote? Where is my hug emote? We're gonna do that. There it is. I'll give her a hug. It'll be okay. We're cool now. For the most part, we're cool. But anyway, enough of that ranting. And I apologize for a lot of the silence between fire trucks and cat. Fortunately, two elements I cannot control. So yeah, we need to, I hate when the map does this, continue back over here. And we're going to do what we can to actually search for Nidhogg's lair. Because, well, it's somewhere in the east, and, well, frankly, it would have to be because we are at the west end of the map, but that's neither here nor there. So thank you for watching, everybody, and I shall see you next time.